Gamers, gals, non-binary pals, we're back. I wanted to do some original content for once in my existence, and that is to make a tier list of every single product that came out in 2023. I think that's the year we're in. It depends on when I get to editing this video. But we just have basically everything. Shoutouts to Piss Boy for making this tier list for me at fucking 6 a.m. And yeah, let's just dive right into it. So first we've got, I don't even know what this is. The Vanquish Soul set. For all intents and purposes, this is just the Vanquish Soul set. Like, it had Vanquish Soul. The problem with, one of the big problems of this year, in my opinion, is that the side sets were so bad. The side sets released so many mediocre archetypes on release, or just released like one okay one that just got amazing support later down the line, but was just a flop for the first 9 months. This set was literally just Vanquish Soul. And Vanquish Soul is still weirdly expensive just for like how bad of a set it was. Honestly, I'd call this a Scavaz product. Like, it's just Vanquish Soul. You really want to play fucking Dinosaur in the year of our Lord 2023? Soon to be 2024? Speaking of garbage side sets, we have Valiant Smashers, also known as the Centurion set. This set, like, although it's marginally better, it's just a slightly more expensive version of like Vanadium. Like, ooh boy, I could summon Hot Red, but you lose to every single form of interruption known to humankind. Like, honestly, like, even though like the set itself is like kind of cheap to buy a box, it's like maybe $50–$60, like just your average return, it's just like, why would you want to play this deck? It's just so bad. It's just not cool. Get the shit away from me. Now we got the Trap Trick structure. Honestly, you know, despite it increasing the amount of child predators in our community, the Trap Trick structure was pretty good. You know, it was a solid ass structure. Like, it had a lot of good reprints. It was actually playable out of the box for the most part. This structure deck was unironically like mostly killer, no filler. Being a killer structure decks, Fire King structure. I mean, if Trap Tricks was meta, it would be up here, but it's not. So Fire King is unironically, this structure deck is so bananas. If you want to play the Dogmatica stuff just because you can't afford the Wanted engine, spoiler alerts, you do need the Wanted engine going into the new format. Like, if you already have a Wanted engine because you played Rescue Ace before, like, this shit is so fucking nice. Like, you got Snake Eye Ash into the whole Populous combo. You've got the entire just Fire King engine. It's just broken. It's literally the Salamangreat equivalent of like, yeah, you have to buy a fuck ton of hand traps alongside like Phantasme, but after that you basically just have the whole deck right off the rip, just straight out of the structure. So overall, good product. I liked it a lot. The same can't be said about this one. it had like one good card in it, arguably like 1.5 in Crimson Gaia, but 1.5 cards does not justify a $12 price tag. Next up, we got Rarity Collection. I don't even gotta say it. I'm gonna call this the greatest product of the year. Just not even close. Rarity Collection, unironically, will remain, in my mind, the best Yu-Gi-Oh product in terms of cards of all time. Full stop. This set turned everyone into product fiends and traders. This was the first time I could go to a local and be like, wow, people are actually trading cards. Because everyone knows like the fucking classic local special where people are just like, sorry, not taking trades, only looking for cash or whatever. Like, Rarity Collection, everyone was trading with each other. It was like money was abolished and we were back in the Byzantine Empire trading fucking sheepskin for baked goods or whatever they did. Even though like most of the prices for like Rarity Collection cooled off and the box price is still like extremely high, and basically even if you open a box, you're not guaranteed to make your money back anymore unless you pull exactly like a QCR Ash or something. It still is like an amazing product to pull and open type deal. It's great. I love it. Next up, Pot Collection. I'ma say it, kind of a scam. It's like a slight scam in the sense where, oh my god, this shit was so useless. It looked like shit. Like, the pots weren't even really pots. Like, you couldn't like drink out of them. There were a goofy desk ornament, sure, and like maybe you got like the QCR pot of greed and you could sell that on TCG Player for like 30 bucks. I'm not paying money for this. I'm sorry. This was the best non-card product they released of the year, and that should tell you everything you need to know about the non-card products, which right now, DMG Plat Rare, garbage. The Egyptian God cards, garbage. If I had the Blue Eyes one, I'd put that shit right here too. The only people who bought the Blue Eyes were fucking turbo weebs, people who had too much money because of the stimulus, or both. Next up, Photon Hypernova. Oh my god, this shit was disgusting. The fact that like Kashtira remained as expensive as it did for so long, and even now after everything's been banned and like reprinted into the ground, the fact that the set still holds like a shit ton of value, well, not like a shit ton, more like a poop ton. It holds like a poop ton of value in terms of like a Rise Heart, Planet. You still have like Thrust in there, which is the only non-OTS printing of it. Hypernova was an insane set for the most part. Next up, we got the Dueling Megatins. I'm gonna say it, chat. I was wrong. I was so fucking wrong about this. I was like, oh, you know, it's not that bad. You know, you still have like pretty, wow, my hair is fucked up. Like, oh, it's not, oh my God. It had like 2 chase cards. Honestly, I'm calling Maze of Memories a Skamaz, bro. There was just nothing real in that set. I'm sorry. Like, you had Collector's Rares, you had Judgment reprint. Outside of like 3 cards. 3 cards does not make up a set. Soul Verdict Volcano. This was, not even joking, the worst product of the year. It's just not even a fucking question. The fact that almost every single ultra rare in this set was a fucking dud. There was no good reprints. There was no good new cards. I'm not fucking looking at Volcanics. You can't make me. This deserves its own tier. The only purpose this set had was to give us like Salamangreat support that made the deck like 1% better, as well as give us a fucking dumbass OTK enabler for like Snake Eyes. Wow, what a great product. Duelist Nexus. This was probably the weakest main deck set, but like the fact that like Dune of all sets was like considered like not great in terms of like value. Actually, I'm lying. This shit was actually pretty good. Duelist Nexus was like an unironically like great set, not for like resale value, but if you wanted support for your archetype. One of my friends, Josh, called Dune a DLC set, and I'm like, that is the perfect descriptor. Like, it gave us Infernoble support, it gave us Unchained support, it gave us like Vanadium support, it gave you like all the good support you needed to bring like a bunch of decks just into the format. Like, Dune was the set that enabled it, and even though like most of those cards are like common supers, maybe like 1 ultra, Dune was a great set for the competitive metagame and just enabling decks as a whole. Maybe it's like right here, but realistically, like, I'll be honest, it's better than the fucking Megatins and the Structure deck. Megatins is probably better than the Structure deck too, I'm gonna be honest. Cyberstorm Access, good set. Slightly worse than like Photon Hypernova because it was like a little bit more specific in like what it gave deck. But I mean, hey, gave us Quem, gave us the Bestial Lubellion, gave us like a fuck ton of Vanadium support, my God. Like, Cyberstorm Access is just like, it was just a good ass set. The only issue was like for 10 out of like 12 months, Syac had like the most expensive card being $35. But I mean, like outside of that, like Battles of Legend Monsters Revenge. Monsters Revenge was really interesting. That's the nice way of saying like it was bad, but it had a funny gimmick. And the funny gimmick was like the QCRs. Like, it gave us a lot of goofy shit. There was a lot of bad QCRs. There was like 4 good QCRs. I don't know. Wasn't really even that good. This felt so mid. It was like less than mid, I'm gonna be honest. The only thing like you ever wanted to pull that wasn't a QCR was maybe like Lubellion or Super Poly. 2 cards does not make up a set. Oh my God, Amazing Defenders. When this set got announced to be like released, when I worked at a card store, me and my friend literally told my boss, do not buy more than a case of this shit. This set is awful because Makonko, Rescue Ace, Pearly, none of that shit was playable. Anyways, he bought 14 cases. Anyways, like fucking Pearly just rotted. Rotted. All these archetypes just fucking rotted until the last 3 months of this year, where all these decks became fucking tier 0 super threats. If we could just pretend that the last 3 months were when Amazing Defenders came out, fucking goodbye. Unironically, god tier buy. But just the fact that it took a literal year for this shit to become even like slightly passable, I'm sorry. I'm calling this shit a scam. This shit was historically just so scammy. Age of Overlord. I mean, SP, Typhon, Wanted Engine, fuck ton of support. I don't even think I gotta explain why this shit top tier. I don't think I have to explain the fucking resale value of all these cards, the fact that they're all meta impactful. Oh my God, this shit is absolutely disgusting. Must buy, 10 out of 10, without a doubt, the best core set in the entire 2023 season. The fact that you could buy a box, and if you just hit on like one of the 2, arguably 3 now, secret rares in like Wanted or SP or Imseti now that like fucking everyone wants to play like tier limit Horus. Like this shit is like actually absurd. But overall, that's my little take on product this year. Let me know what your favorite product of the year was and why it was Rarity Collection. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.